When?
When?
When mainnet?
Tell me about it. Any day now. Getting
Any day
close.
now. Yeah, we are close.
GPU, with your blessing, I will screen share the Boon.
Yeah,
Boonathon.
yeah. Please.
I have it all set up locally here.
Right.
Let's see if this works. I'm gonna do a quick page refresh. Pray for me. It's a demo, so it's not gonna work. You know that's how it goes.
It worked.
It worked. It
Look at those
worked.
counting ups.
Oh,
Slowly
wow.
but surely, I successfully made the stats fetching way slower. So
Were those
great
stats
news.
was that a JavaScript count up you installed, or is that just literally
It's just slowly loading, so it
Yeah.
will just.
some
I love it
amazing?
though. I love it though. It's like the world's like cheapest animation. It's just because the numbers are just it updates like I mean I have 30 plus gods, so it just updates 32 times, not at exactly the same time.
It's HTTP animation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the image just loading one scan line at a time.
It's what's that JPEG compression called? Whatever.
Tarina's a 10% boost right now?
This is for me locally, so is that on the beta too? That would be sweet. You know I love that. Nah, this is just for me locally because looks like Arcane's getting that boost too, even though they don't deserve it. Oh, we fixed up the colors. Props to the color fixers. Okay, I'll get started. Welcome to Temple Time. Remember, if you have questions, post them in Temple side chat or just unmute and ask the question. There's not very many people on this call, so no big deal. The great update from this week is I have been pairing with our good friend GPU on implementing the last bits that we need to get the blood
Flowing.
exchanging. I mentally call it blood shop. I still call it energy in my brain. I still call it blood shop in my brain. It's going to take me months to stop doing that, but please forgive me. So you'll see there's been a couple of nice little visual updates. Shout out to GPU. Each god shows its dominant power here. If you can see the symbols corresponding with the powers, which obviously you will very quickly memorize and know exactly what each symbol means. I know that. Where's my Cosmos boy? This boy's a Cosmos boy. Mr. Derelict. This is locally too, so it's like extra slow for me. But yeah, you can see it's dominant power Cosmos, and so that is why it is matching up with my very slow Cosmos gods count. It's not quite. Okay, that's a bug. Let's write that up to local data issues. But what it came to demo is the blood exchange, where we now are in the kind of the last stretch of wiring things up so that we can sell the petty boons that I have personally wanted for months of caring for my gods. Could not be more pleased to buy myself a petty boon. The price is all TBD. Some of the attributes, like do not fall in love with these numbers, since obviously we might tweak it anytime. We could tweak it while it's live too. But I come in and I buy, and now I am the proud owner of a petty boon. And you have to go to a different spot right now in order to activate your boon. But you come in, I've got my gods. You'll notice they're all at like, I don't know, like 20% health here, which is that's alright. But I got this boon, so I petty boon, I activate. A developer files a bug to say implement expires in XX. And then I go back to my gods, and lo and behold, they are all green boosted to 50% and will remain so for the next approximately 7 days.
Why is that
And
approximate?
It uses blocks. Like blockchains are powered by blocks, not clocks. And so a Polygon block targets 2 seconds, but that does not mean that it is actually 2 seconds. So basically the length of the petty boon internally, the block expiry for it is the block that you activated it plus 7 times 24 times 60 times 60 divided by 2. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
I knew the answer. I just thought it'd be
yeah, blocks not clocks. Blocks not
clock.
clocks.
That's new to me. I like that.
Yeah. Mainnet one fall. Pretty soon, we're close. I think we're really close. I mean, I want to get these boons in place, and then there's this upgradability upgrade I need to make so that largely so I can fix the items and we can tweak gotcha logic. So some of the contracts will be. My original goal was to make all the contracts, um, more or less completely immutable. Like there were some configuration variables that I wanted to retain the ability to tweak as we go through things, but the idea of the core logic being kind of baked in. But there's always, I mean, through this process with the beta, it's been a very humbling learning experience, and immutability is tough in a kind of a complex system like this. So there's, I believe, three of the 6 contracts I will make upgradable, meaning that we can kind of deploy a new version without blowing away the existing data. For instance, like the cult binder is a contract on its own, and if I were to deploy a new version of the cult binder contract, everybody would need to rebind. And it's the same way with a few other contracts, like the god data contract. There's a god owners mirror contract. And one thing on my to-do list, I just broke my computer so bad. I don't know. Look at this. This
Yeah,
is
testing.
awesome.
But circles look to be a problem.
Yeah, I think there's some graphics not loading, but that's the demo, and then my petty boon is still active, but I broke something so bad.
Can I jump in with some Boon related questions?
Please.
So the boons themselves, we're purchasing them with blood. I think we talked about this in stand up, but can we clarify just for everyone? The boons that you purchase, are they NFTs? What are they?
Excellent question, Dub Pace. They are NFTs on Polygon. Currently, they are stored as ERC 1155 NFTs, which is different than ERC 721. But it is possible I will have to do a last minute refactor depending on some technical jargon. And so, yeah, they are in fact NFTs, and you can own multiple of them, and it's on Polygon. But you would be able to go to OpenSea on Polygon. This is local, so it won't actually work. But once we have it on the beta site, you could go to, I believe it's testnets.opensea. Yeah, testnets.opensea. And then if you go to like your own profile, you would be able to see.
Boons.
I'm trying to find this.
Uh,
I have so many. It's just like testnets are crazy.
I love the code name gods or goons.
The goons, yeah, those are our test. Some of our test goons.
Oh, you did a test shirt.
Yeah, there's
That's
a bunch of
cool.
them. They're still all here too. I mean, I might self-destructive, but I think it's funny. But yeah, that's they are in fact NFTs. So and they're essentially just sort of like this graphic with an attribute on a contract that says when it was activated and then how long it lasts. And I'm not currently storing some of the other properties of the boon on chain, like how long it lasts and things like that. That stuff is just baked into the contract directly. But yeah, it's possible to kind of set up some things like that, and so they are in fact NFTs. Yeah, they're just it's interesting because it's like I don't really run into a lot of like disposable NFTs, so to speak, or like one-time use or sort of time limited like that. But I have at least purchased like some NFTs that are that like evolve over time. They don't die per se, but they do like change over time, and so it's kind of a similar concept.
So, follow-up question. This seems like it opens up a pretty cool realm of possibilities that the team could play with then of like limited time boons, where if you're paying attention, you could buy them and then is there an ability to like transfer a boon to another wallet? Like if I make a
Yes,
friend in
sir.
Discord?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, there's a
Yeah, it's
lot
an
of cool
NFT.
stuff.
Yeah, and you could transfer the blood. You could buy the boons and transfer the boons. Who knows? Maybe we'll just like give out some boons. Seems like a cool thing that cool people would do. Um, and
We'd also
yes,
like to reward people for even when you buy the boons, if you go back to the gods, um, you notice that the gods are not full 100% health, but um, if it loads correctly,
one
if it's
sec.
not
Yeah, no,
broken.
I've completely broken my development environment. It's
Oh, okay.
because it's a demo. Obviously, I think I need to rebuy a boon really quickly. Hold on. Stand by
Most
for.
Yeah, most boons will not keep your god 100% healthy, but just a steady 50% or so.
Let's get a
And
couple
your
of these bad
earnings,
boys.
we're playing with this, but your earnings may change based on how boosted they are. If you want to like thoughtlessly just earn blood like normal human would, um, you can do this. There they are. They're working.
Yeah,
They're all
working now.
50%, right? Um,
Yes, yeah. So it sets it to 50%, but um, yeah, what's nuts is talking about is that we're discussing the idea of shifting it so that instead of being like, if God healthy, you get one blood for it, being a function of the health. So, for instance, we would say that, let's say that at 100% you earn one blood, and at 50% you then earn half a blood. So I'm on cooldown right now, but in theory, that would give me an incentive. I would always be earning something, but I would have an incentive to still care for my gods and still sort of, click the clicks um, to earn more.
and this kind of transitions us nicely into some of the work Casey's been doing. Or CPU, GPU, whatever his name is.
So much easier to just be doxxed.
All
So,
my
We are who we are.
yeah. Um, it transitions nicely into your machinations work.
Yeah. I mean, part of figure out like the pricing of all this and how much blood that we all should earn, depending on the number of gods, is sort of a factor of playing the game at a faster rate than a blockchain move. So, uh, inspired by Space Dogs, she's still here. Um, work on machinations. I decided to dive deep into it and see if it was useful for us. So let me share my screen. Do you see the mayhem?
Yes.
Not yet.
Yes.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Oh,
There it
now
is.
I do. Now I do.
Okay. Great.
Yay, I'm first.
Um, so Machinations is a tool to allow you to simulate uh, anything. It could be, well, for this specifically, you can simulate an economy, a blood economy, or simulate a game, and allows us to kind of simplify what we're building, which is essentially a clicker game. Um, and it's a tool just to allow us to like, okay, I own 10 gods. Let's play out this entire blood game for like up to like a month or 2 months to see uh how much blood we get, how much work it is, allows us to like price out what the boons are and actually like simulate it all. So I'm not gonna. I mean, should I step through every part of this, or should I just kind of
No,
do a
show
general
show a
overview?
couple of features, like show it producing, and show
Yeah,
some actions, and I think we're good.
cool. Um, so in this model right now, it says I own 10 gods, and I have 50 blood in my wallet. And right now, my god health which is 0, means all my gods are dead. So I can click these actions over here to cower, sacrifice, marvel. And this is basically every 2 seconds is like 4 hours in the gacha game. So now I'm earning blood. Now that my gods are healthy, you can see the health slowly going down over time. I have enough blood to buy a boon, 50, 100, 200 for each of these. So I'm going to buy the middling boon, which will allow my gods to be healthy for 14 days and keep my health at 50%. So now it starts generating health for my gods and keeps it at a minimum of 50. But I can keep continuing to keep the gods even more healthy so that my earnings go up. So it went from 8 to 16. And so it's just like a really great way to like see how this plays out, and if we can model it for different types of owners, people who have different size wallets to the whale wallets, trying to create like a more balanced ecosystem. And so in the interface, you saw that we have like 3 or 4 boons. Like we actually have ideas for a lot more. I don't think we're gonna build them all, but this is just a great way to figure out essentially the pricing of all these boons to make it equitable and fun for everyone. Because I think that's the main thing. It's just we want to make it fun.
We have
And
around 30 or so ideas.
yeah. But I think we're going to launch with what you see in the interface, which is just like boons to keep your gods healthy. And it allows us to figure out how much blood we want to give to everyone by default. And I think we've been talking about, I mean, the main core things that we want to use blood to summon a god, allow people to like summon a god with blood instead of ETH. And I think we want to do it in a way that allows everyone to be able to do that easily, but maybe make it more expensive over time if you want to summon more than one god, so that at least everyone gets to have essentially a free god. But if you want more than that, it's going to cost a lot more. And so I think this will help us model out what that looks like. Anything else to walk through? Questions?
I love this thing so much. I don't know why I bothered writing any Solidity code or user interface. We should have just sent this to people. This is the game.
This is the game.
And so this right now, there's 2 ways to like do machinations. These are all, I have to click these things to maintain it, but you can also build it in a way that is more of like an automaton where it will randomly buy things for you or simulate things for you. And so I think maybe a separate thing we could do, I don't know if I'm going to do it, but is kind of simulate the general like economy of the cults and the blood being generated by cults. And we're talking about creating boons or curses that can affect things, you know, across everyone's wallets, across all the cults. But feature creep, we're trying to keep it simple and start with just get the boons working and then go from there.
I think it looks amazing. Great job.
Thanks. I mean, Machinations is, if you're interested in learning Machinations, I recently learned it. It took me about a full day of just diving deep into it. So that's it's kind of a steep learning curve, but then you get to know it after a while. But I also will say that I have way too much experience playing Factorio, which is a video game that is honestly pretty similar to this, and maybe that was helpful to my experience here.
Yeah, that was your training course.
Yes.
Yeah, and then shout out to Space Dog for introducing us to Machinations in general. Actually, I'll post this blog post that they put up around Void Runners, a great project, and diving into some machination models for both for Void Runners, but also like for Wolf Game and it's pretty cool. I I very much enjoy the simulations and the speed ups and the whole. It's a fun way to play Factorio, but without having to load Factorio. It's really great.
Well, I feel
Again, Space Dog's blog post, uh, she talks about how so in this there's a whole chart of like all the different simulations you ran, and if you have enough of them, you can like export it to a spreadsheet and start doing some more advanced analysis of trends and stuff, or whatever you
Yeah,
want.
I noticed something on their site that Chop and Broccoli shared, um, related to importing data. Like specifically, they made like a /Web3 landing page targeting crypto game projects and GameFi projects, I think. And
Machinations did.
Yeah,
Machinations, yeah, yeah, and they even imply that they have like data import from various blockchain data providers, which would be kind of. I'm curious how well it works, like in terms of sort of like what that means exactly. But it'd be very cool to be able to kind of like, yeah, the simulation of how it works as is, and then sort of like, oh, well, how did that actually compare with what
I just shared
actually
that link.
happened?
Right. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I just shared the URL to their new Web3 landing page.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I think it might just be like a sales page. I have a feeling this is one of those pages
Definitely.
you put up like before you've written any software. You know what I mean?
I definitely think that's it. Look, they even put the necessary logos of Binance, OpenSea, and CoinGecko on there. So
Right, but it's in light gray. It says upcoming
yeah,
API integrations.
here we go.
Nicely
Uh,
done, sales team.
Good job, Machinations. Probably fully fueled by Space Dog herself.
Totally.
Um,
Yeah, let's runs if I own 100 gods.
let's watch the output for 100 gods. Oh, cool. Does it keep the shadow of what you previously did?
Yeah, it has all the previous runs. I mean, it's not necessarily helpful. It's just a bunch of lines.
But man, does it look cool.
All
So
right.
cool.
Wow, look at all that production.
Buy something.
So, buy something.
I want to buy a.
While we're
Buy
talking
something, devs.
but while we're talking about Void Runners, all God owners, uh, go join the Void Runner Discord and get your Allowlist spot because you get special benefit of our friend. But the project looks amazing anyway, so go check it out, please.
Yeah. But do the text adventure even if you use your god to cheat the allow list, because the text adventure is really fun.
Oh yeah, I need to die today.
Yeah,
prepare to
I
die.
die. I die every day.
Mhm.
I played it like 10 times. I've yet to beat it.
I am the same.
It's a hard game. Text adventures are hard. It's
Yeah.
a normal thing.
Before we move off of Machinations, I thought I'd just point out some of the obvious to it as well, just regarding the fact that the team has modeled this out now. It's really invaluable for something like building a blockchain economy because it's not like a traditional kind of game system where you mess up the inflation of gold in your RPG. You can't roll back the gold or do anything like that. Like everyone's going to have the blood, so it's sort of predicting what it's going to look like for whale that has 100 gods versus also just like the average user who might have 2 to 4, and balancing the game between those two personas or those groups of people, I think is super important. So again, shout out to GP. It's hard work on.
Yeah,
Shout out.
we're running the fine line of like wanting to increase costs for people with many gods so that the earnings aren't dramatically huger than the average holder, which is around 3. Um, but still like giving them a benefit for having a lot. So it's having this system set up and being able to tweak costs of things with a single digit is amazing. So I'm very happy to have this.
Arguably, you should have done it a while ago before we start building. And so, it's anyone who's built is a maker out there that I highly recommend simulating these things before you start building smart contracts, or even an interface. It
Yeah.
will save you some time to be like, is this good? Is this fun? Does it make sense?
Yeah, and
Um,
spreadsheets scratched like a little of the itch, but it's just not the same at all. And then I honestly, I even love this just as sort of like a visualization of the contracts in some ways.
mm, hmm
Because it's you can there's a couple other ones here that aren't here exactly, but in theory we could incorporate like the on-chain gods, and it factors in the dominant power boosts. We could incorporate the cult boost and all this stuff, and um, it's interesting as like a living document like that, a very complicated living document.
Yeah, it's very complicated.
Looks cool though. Are the
Cool.
gray ones just disabled? What are the gray?
That was me. It's just me changing the color to be okay. Well, some are disabled, so like when I cower, it puts a little ball in here, and then this becomes temporarily active, so that will like light up.
Got it.
If that makes sense. So that now it's enabled and it'll show it. Same thing with these over here. But also these I just made gray because I was just trying to make it look cleaner because it's just kind of chaotic seeing so many arrows everywhere.
I love it. Embrace the chaos.
Yeah, I mean there's a whole like I'm sure there's a whole like philosophy in making these things. This is my first one where organization of all this, like it needs more breathing room between all these different components.
It should be 3D like Factorio. Or not Factorio. What's the 3D one?
Satisfactory.
Satisfactory.
Satisfactory. Yeah, we just need to be able to layer these on top of each other.
That's right. Okay, so next
Smart.
project is porting Machinations to Unity.
Yeah.
Easy. Oh, I got it. It's a VR game where you build a machination in VR.
I'm sure there's like someone at Machinations doing that.
Honestly, I
be
have
amazing.
actually. I am reminded of the people who've built like calculators in Minecraft using redstone.
Right.
Totally.
It's
And does
not that
Machinations
far
have an
off.
API? I assume it
It
does.
actually does have a pretty good API. Yeah.
Dang.
We're pivoting. We're now a Machinations shop.
So yeah, this gets us
Iris.
this gives us the peace of mind that we're building something that will play out very interestingly once it's built. Short term, like the goal is to ship blood earnings with the store, have people steadily spending blood um, uh, and earning blood at the same time. Not spending more than they're earning, but finding their optimization and give a little reward up front, maybe a god or two to be able to purchase. Um, but we don't want to, just like have all, god owners, like all like, the whales be able to buy constantly, because I don't think that's very fair either. Um, but along with this, we're along with Dub Pace, gonna have like a little launch schedule for this, that will have some giveaways. I've got 2 extra Looking Glass giveaways that I'll be setting up. We'll have a few NFTs that we'll be giving away as we launch this, and hope to have some of these Twitter live spaces as we discuss this and go over what we've done. Um, there's a couple other ideas to help boost the process, including starting to close the mint that we'll discuss later. But there's a lot of things coming down. There's also a few other allow lists that we will be getting on that I'm excited about, but it's a little too early to announce those. But I think I've seeded some hints in previous tweets, but a lot to look forward to as we get closer to mainnet launch.
Yeah, I think we're pretty close. I know everybody always asks me the dates. Like, shout out to GPU for implementing a lot of the Boon UI, and so now there's just a little bit of wiring up the contracts, and then this kind of back office fixes related to the upgradability, the begrudging upgradability, and I'll likely want to do like a beta 3, just to test out some of these new sort of structural changes and make sure it's not too slow, which is like what bit me in the butt with early beta 2. And so, yeah, maybe we do that next week. It would reset everything again. It would be the last reset, and this would be like a pre-mainnet kind of a thing. And so if we were able to put that up and there was no major hiccups, then I think we'd be mainnet pretty soon after that. So I'm not gonna say any dates though. That always happens, but it is very close. You saw the demo. It's
I feel like we could probably I hope that we could have an actual launch date
Yeah,
to say by
yeah.
next Temple time.
that's fair. And I've been thinking about it. We should probably, and we'll discuss it next stand up, but we'll probably have a lead up of at least giving everyone like a 2 week heads up.
Oh, totally.
And
Totally.
then that will only be after like things have been battle tested in the beta, because nothing would be worse than a buggy main.
Yeah. So but I think like beta 3 coming soon because it'll have some of these Boon features, and I'd love to get people banging on that just because you know bugs are real. And thank you again to everybody who has reported bugs. Oh my God! By the way, I don't think Winter Bull's on this call. GPU also fixed the Coinbase Wallet bug that we've had for like 6 weeks.
Yeah, shout out to all the Coinbase users, which
Shout out.
is not many.
Yeah. Any Coinbase Wallet users in the house? The browser version. No.
Crickets.
Just an LOL.
It's funny because I was doing when you were sending me the patch, I like did a quick audit of other platforms, and it's like nobody supports it. But
I
we
think it's
do.
like I think it's relatively new. It's or
It's new and
newish.
potentially will grow. So
Yeah.
if they
Yeah, I've
And
been using
honestly,
I've used their
it's
mobile
kind of
app for a
nice.
while, but yeah.
It's kind of nice. It
All
works.
right.
It works well, and you auth with your phone rather than clicking in your browser, and that feels more secure to me.
so it pulls up the app in your phone, or
Yeah.
you get like a pushing notification,
Yep.
and then
Yeah,
you
it's
unlock with your
funny.
face.
Yeah, Rainbow's gonna do the same thing where but they use Wallet Connect, and it's like
Right.
Coinbase. It's funny because it's like Coinbase has just made their own Wallet Connect, but it only works
Right.
with their browser extension and their phone, mobile app. But you can get the same thing. I think it's in beta. I might be wrong about that, but there is a Rainbow browser extension that they've been working on, and it does kind of the same thing. So two things can talk to each other.
Yep.
Unlike the MetaMask browser extension, which does not talk to the MetaMask mobile app at all.
Might as well be a
Wallet
separate
life.
product.
Yeah, we don't talk about MetaMask. I don't see any burning questions. Any burning questions? Well, otherwise we'll wrap up early and go enjoy the sunshine.
Yeah, it's finally getting warm.
Yeah, here on the East Coast.
I am about to have a baby in the next week or 2 or 3, so
Boy, you're in the zone.
I'm in the zone. 37
Congratulations
weeks
and
today.
good luck to you and your spouse.
Congratulations.
Yep. So
We have a
little
cower.
tiny pyramid.
Yeah, tiny little pyramid. Yeah, that's okay, great. That gives us some nice deadlines to work against. I like that.
I mean, it gives us a little wiggle room, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Well, the reality too is, I mean, anybody, I don't know how many people here on this call actually have kids, but the reality is it could show up tomorrow now. So it's like not a
Yeah, that's
huge
true.
deal. Yeah. So
It
it's
could
not,
have showed up last week.
yeah, exactly. Good luck.
Oh.
Rooting for you. I'm crossing my fingers. You can't see me, but I'm crossing all my fingers and my toes.
It will go swimmingly.
Easy peasy, and comes out with like a pile of money as well. Easy.
Let's just make that the launch date whenever the baby comes.
There we
We'll
go.
launch. We'll go
We'll be like
mainnet.
mainnet. Yeah, the true mainnet.
Yeah, I'm actually not doing much. It's my wife, so should be fine.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about we're having a baby. The phrase. One of us is having the baby more than the other.
Yeah, I'm just there to marvel in
Yeah.
amazement.
It's just to click the buttons. You're like, I'm pressing Marvel, but it's on cooldown.
Yeah. Cower.
It's a gotchi joke.
Ta-da! Nobody gets it.
It's a
Thank you all for coming. Please add more questions. Please play beta. I'm excited to get this out there and to give away some of these more looking glasses.
Heck yeah. Thank you all. Rest
Thanks,
in peace.
everyone.
Everyone, good job. It's looking so good.
Just polish, polish, polish.
Coming together.
Soon we'll be in. What's the expression? How do you get to Carnegie Hall?
Practice, practice, practice.
Polish, polish, polish.
Pyramid, pyramid.
Cooperate, cooperate.
Iterate, iterate. All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.